Hello there, Reddit enthusiasts, and welcome to Woven Webs. Today we have a post in the Off My Chest subreddit by Fourth Seahorse. He writes, "My wife slept with my roommates before we were married. Years ago, my wife slept with my roommates. At the time, we were casually dating, but she didn't want to label us boyfriend-girlfriend yet. Now, I'm not friends with these roommates anymore, for years, for unrelated issues, but at the time, we were real tight. I found out about this when I recently stumbled across pictures of their drunk MFM, male, female, male. My wife admitted that she didn't want to label us since I wasn't her first choice, and she ultimately settled." So let's break this down before we get into the comments. This is a short post, but there's about 4 points here that we need to keep in mind. His wife slept with his roommates, plural, before they were married, in a threesome. Additionally, she kept photos of the threesome. She goes on to state that her current husband was not her first choice. And finally, she says that she settled when she married him. Anyway, that's quite a lot for any person to absorb. And to start off the comments, Syrian Abyss writes, "Wow, I am sorry. That is heartbreaking. You shouldn't settle for her. You should leave her and find someone that won't look down on you." Oliver Queen 03 writes, "Divorce. As soon as she said she settled and you weren't her first choice. No amount of her taking it back will save your marriage." Majestic Post 1684 writes, "Oh my God, she kept the pictures." And a response to that, "Oh my God, she let someone take pictures. LOL." Continuing along that line, it doesn't even sound like she regrets anything. And a response there, "Clearly she doesn't. Letting someone take pictures tells you who she really is. Keeping them? Whoa." And Shayla 30 writes, "Could you give us more insight into the last part? Are those the exact words she used, or did she not feel as strong of a connection for you at that point? Did she feel any emotional connection to your roommates, or was it just a sexually adventurous thing she wanted to do? You mentioned you two were casually dating. Do you two ever have explicit conversations about that period or your sexual histories?" And Four Seahorse, the original poster, writes, "One of the roomies was her first choice. We talked sexual histories before this event happened. I didn't realize she would be seeing other people in this time frame. These conversations didn't happen all at the same time. After we'd been married a few years, during a conversation about my past relationships, she told me she had a huge crush on my roommate, which is why she waited until he chose to date someone else to make us..." Holy shit. Got to read that part again. "Which is why she waited until she chose to date someone else to make us, quote, official, unquote. Later, she told me she slept with him once while pretty drunk, after I'd turned in for the night at the shared house. I haven't brought up the photos. She asked me to back up and sort old photos on an old laptop. This is just a rant, connecting those dots." Wrathchild 801 writes, "Man, that's harsh that she would basically tell you she settled for you. I personally could get past the MFM stuff pretty easily, but the being settled for is where it would be tough for me. I'd definitely talk it out with her at least and go from there, and just remember, just because she settled for you doesn't mean you have to stay settled with her." Hi Lady 9627 writes, "I don't think I could get past the threesome part. That's likely me, but damn, triple betrayal because you know the roommates knew he liked the girl and was seeing her on the casual. They knew and slept with her anyway." G1 and Freese writes in, "Dude, just how old are you? You sound like you're in your early 20s. If so, cut your losses as quick as possible. This information right here should be enough for you to go the other way." Beto Dally 007 writes, "If no kids, I would bounce, because I should never be a second or third choice to anyone, especially if I put my girl, wife first and foremost. I would feel like I always got pity love and mediocre effort in return." And Four Seahorse, the original poster, writes, "Yeah, it does feel that way. We got kids, though." SRS GR Medic writes, "This is not the only time or the last time she cheated." Jinky Jack writes, "Those, quote, past mistakes, unquote, were photos his wife kept like trophies for many years well into their marriage. Context is everything. In your examples, sure, it seems most relationships require someone to settle for someone at one point or another. I consider that settling down rather than settling for someone, but it's just my opinion. The issue is, OP's wife weaponized her settling for him. In the context in which she used settling, it was demoralizing and completely uncalled for. Some people can't come back from that, and rightly so. Nobody deserves to feel like they were someone's second choice. If a person feels they settled, maybe they should keep that shit to themselves and carry on with their life. Or maybe, just maybe, find someone who is your number one and vice versa. All right, Reddit listeners, what do you all think of that? To me, he's got a pretty serious problem on his hands with her, considering they have a daughter together. She seems intent on forcing him out of the marriage almost. Why else would she tell him not once but twice over a period of years that he's her second choice at best? I just don't see how that would be recoverable. But let us know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you listening.